And Vivian has been a speaker at our annual conference and career fair, and she has volunteered to speak with NAMBA on multiple occasions, having amazing feedback. So we would like to welcome her to the stage at this time.
There are a number of things that come together to help us feel empowered, and if we really think about that, think about where you are right now. You as women leaders are already empowered and can use that power. We'll talk today too about how executive presence is empowering and plays into a lot of the comments that you just made about what makes you feel empowered. And we often don't recognize those things as being part of executive presence. The other thing that is empowering is information and knowledge. Knowledge is power. We've all heard that catchphrase, haven't we? Knowledge is power. And what is important for you as professionals is to be knowledgeable about what moves careers. What are some of the inside secrets about how the career game is played so that you can make sure that you're in the ball game and moving your career forward? I talk to so many of my coaching clients who come to me frustrated because they have not had the opportunities. They feel like other people are moving and advancing in their careers ahead of them. They're being left behind, but a lot of what they're doing is keeping their head down and really focused on getting the job done. But there's more than that, and you don't want to be the one that's being left behind. So we're going to be empowered with that type of information on how to accelerate your career today. And in their discussion, they really couldn't put their finger on exactly what it is. And oftentimes when somebody tells you, you need to work on your executive presence, it's like, okay, so what is that exactly? Or what piece of my executive presence? The 4 dimensions of executive presence are your business intelligence, your business impact, your reputation, and your relationships. So it comes down to this combination of your execution or your get-it-done savvy, your brand management savvy, and your relationships and how you manage those relationships and how savvy you are at that. When the 4 of these elements come together, I use this picture of the U.S. women in the last Olympics, the relay race. And in the past, they've had some problems with the relay race, being able to effectively and successfully pass the baton. They won gold in 2016, and each person in that relay, and this was the 4x400, or there's also the 4x200, 4x100, but in each heat, each person's leg of that race, you got to do your part. And you are measured on not only the fact that the team as a whole, so if the team makes it in time, you're going to get gold or silver or bronze or nothing. Or you are also, though, they talk about the individual runners, Olympians, their times. And if I can't make my time faster than my competition, then I'm going to drag my team down. How many times do you hear women talk about the fact that we did this, we did that, my team saved the company $100,000. My team came up with all these great ideas that we were able to implement, and it helped the company save 10 months in execution for that particular project. But what did you do? What was your heat? What was your sprint? We've got to learn to tell our own story as women. And I recently heard a great example of where one of my friends did that, just stepped out and she did that, and that's going to make a big difference for her. But I'd like for someone to come up and share. I want you to think first yourself. What is your impact? What is your, I call this your so what. You have to know your so what. What's your so what? And do you know what your so what does for the company? What's your value? Remember that they are your business intelligence. So what do I know and how am I being proactive about getting the insight and information I need? How am I using that information to make an impact on the organization? What's my so what? What is my reputation and how am I managing my what and my how and my personal presence? And what strategic relationships am I building in the organization and outside of the organization so that I can do some of the other things, right? Sometimes I need people, a network of people in the organization who can help me to get those things done. And where can I demonstrate that I have influence? And sometimes we need relationships in order to have influence so that people see us as someone who has executive presence, someone that they would count on and depend on and put in a leadership role. I love the sharing that you have done here today. And I know, and what I see in you is a room full of empowered women who have executive presence and who are going to use that to do great things in this organization and who are going to fuel forward in your careers.